Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome into the Big Friday Kickoff podcast. I'm Emily Cochran. He's Robert Ristaneo. We hope you guys had a very, very Merry Christmas. I think we both did.
Yeah.
For sure. Other than the fact that, for the first time ever, it's Robert that's feeling under the weather and not me.
Yes.
It's always me.
Yes.
And so here on New Year's Eve, I'm the healthy one, and Robert is not feeling so great. So
Although I did give you some Dayquil earlier, and you
did.
took that. So.
And I did take it. That could be why.
Yeah.
I have been a little sniffly. It's that time of the year.
Yeah, it's allergy
Flu
stuff.
numbers are up. Everyone's sick. But you don't
I
get to,
do not have the flu.
No, he doesn't have the flu, no COVID, no strep.
No.
He's good to go, just a little under the weather. The weather change might be what has sparked that for you.
And I notoriously wear shorts well into the weather season when it's time to stop wearing shorts. And
yeah,
wear
he's an
jeans.
AFCOS guy. He's in his jeans
right.
now. He's broken out the jeans and the boots, so that's
Yeah.
how you know that the seasons have officially changed
That's
down
right.
here on the Alabama Gulf Coast. We only get two. You get summer,
Yes.
and you get winter.
Although I think next week's supposed to be in the 70s.
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean. You get two seasons, and they interchange, every other week. So I know tonight is New Year's Eve. They got the moon pie drop going on downtown in Mobile, so a lot of fun stuff going on tonight. But we've got some sports to talk about. I know you've got some interesting high school news that you want to kick us off with, Robert, so I'm going to throw it over to you.
Yeah, so I saw this earlier today. I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily a transfer portal window for high school students, but a little bit of news down here in Region 1 that I think will be of note to some people. Yalin Lee, a class of 2028 running back for Saraland, kind of set to be the next starting running back in sort of the run of Sante McWilliams and P.J. Brown and all those guys, is transferring to in-region rival Spanish Fort for next season.
What?
Yeah, so it seems like I think this kid will probably be Spanish Fort starting running back next year.
No way.
So, yeah.
You don't typically see that. If you would have told me that he was transferring from Spanish Fort to Saraland, I think I would have been a little less surprised.
Right, or
But
Saraland to
Gulf
MGM
Shores?
or something, like a 7A team to a 6A,
Yeah.
but so a little bit of high school transfer news. That's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
the season, it just ended,
Right.
beginning of this month, and now we're closing out the month, and you're already starting to see that movement. And we'll see a lot of it during the off season. We've also seen kids transfer to 2 different schools during the off season.
That's true.
So that's just the first big name to keep an eye on. We're going to be following along with this quote-unquote transfer portal as we head further into the offseason, and going to be a lot of moving parts. So that's interesing. That's a good way to top off the show.
Yeah, he's a kid who just if you follow sort of any of kind of the JV circuits, he's been a really, really productive player for Saraland's JV team the last couple seasons, and played varsity last year, was kind of the backup to P.J. Brown. But yeah, that's kind of that's a big move for Spanish Fort, and they're getting a really good player. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess it'll be him and J.J. Thibodeau at quarterback. So we'll see what happens.
Interesting. Well, that'll definitely be something to keep an eye on. Speaking of Saraland, tomorrow, the Rose Bowl kicks off in Pasadena between number 1 Indiana and the
That's
Alabama
right.
Crimson Tide. And as we all know, that superstar wide receiver for the Crimson Tide, Ryan Williams, is looking to kind of have a breakout game in this one. As we know, he had a great freshman season. He reclassified, got there early. He was playing for Alabama at 17 years old. And like I said, had just a heck of a freshman season. And now it seems like he's in that sophomore slump. And for me, I think if Alabama has the chance to upset Indiana, them being top ranked, they've got one of the top ranked defenses in college football. And I think if they're going to have a chance to kind of get the upset in this one, they're going to need that production from Ryan Williams. And I listened to head coach Kalen DeBoer in his, media availability throughout the week. And he mentioned Ryan Williams and said this is the perfect opportunity for him to have a signature game. And he could see him having that. And one thing we all know about Ryan, because we, being around him in high school. He's always so positive, definitely a leader on the team, and that's something that he, no matter if he's, having a down season or an up season, like he's always just a super positive, high energy guy. And so that's one thing Coach talked about is it doesn't matter that he, the season's been what it has been this season for him, but he hasn't lost that positive mindset and that, the willingness to put in the extra work and try and get better. That's what he does day in and day out. I know he's been doing extra drills. He's been dropping a lot of catches. And what we've seen from that, like you and I watching Ryan Williams compete for state titles and win championships at, the high school level, I can't remember a time where he's ever dropped a ball whenever we were watching him in high school. So to see him do so well his freshman year and then struggle here in his sophomore season, that's just been tough. We hate to see that for him, but this is a great opportunity to go out there and make a statement because, I know that Indiana's favored in this game, but I feel kind of good about, what Alabama could potentially do. I feel good about Ty Simpson. I think that showing that they got that win over Oklahoma coming back from a 17-point deficit, just the resiliency, and head coach Kalen DeBoer and Kane Womack and Ryan Grubb, OCDC talking about just the resiliency of this team. They're going to need that resiliency tomorrow night when they go head-to-head with Indiana for sure.
Yeah, and, he's the kind of guy, you've been doing some really good previews of this game all week, kind of comparing the offenses to the defenses and vice versa. One thing that I think we both know about this Alabama team is they really just cannot run the ball, which is so weird for an Alabama team. You're so used to just the stud running back, for the last 15 years under Saban being the guy, being kind of the engine of the offense. And, Kalen DeBoer plays a different style than that. Mm-hmm. And if they're going to kind of keep up with this Indiana offense and, Heisman winner Fernando Mendoza, it's going to be, Ty Simpson being able to throw the ball and move the ball downfield. And, Ryan Williams, as talented as anyone in this game, that makes sense that he's going to be a big part of their game plan to try and get him the ball and get him in space and get him making plays.
Yeah, I think that also with Ryan Williams, just all of their receivers, they've got talent all over the field.
Right.
Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton. So I think that they're going to have a good opportunity to go up against this Indiana defense, put them in some difficult matchups, and if they give Ty Simpson enough time in the pocket to make a good decision, I think that if you put Jeremy Bernard up against the Indiana Hoosiers defense, like I feel good about his ability to go up and make a play. Same thing for Ryan Williams. When he makes a catch, it's a beautiful catch.
Right.
He makes catches he should not make, but then he also is not making catches that he should make. So that's definitely going to have to be something that Alabama's going to have to get done tomorrow night. I think another thing is they cannot afford to have a slow start. They cannot afford a 17-point deficit because going up against an Oklahoma offense and getting behind is one thing. But this Indiana Hoosiers team is undefeated. They're the number one team in the country for very good reason. They've got a Heisman quarterback, under center. So it's not going to be the same. Yes, you were resilient in this game with Oklahoma, but this is a very different team you're going to be facing tomorrow afternoon. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I do. I don't think that Indiana's just going to walk out there and just take it. Alabama's not a team that goes quietly. Which is another crazy thing is Alabama is considered the underdog. And when it comes to the Crimson Tide program, that's not something that you ever hear people say, oh, Alabama's the underdog. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, this team is taking that as motivation. Mm-hmm. They're fine. Count us out. You didn't expect us to be here, and here we are. And then we came back. We beat Oklahoma. Now you get the opportunity to go head-to-head with the number one team and really make a statement. So, yeah, they're going to have their hands full. Absolutely. And that defense, especially with the run, I think they're only allowing, on average, 77 rushing yards per game. They're really good at stopping the run. Well, and Alabama's, it doesn't hurt Alabama because they don't really have a good.
They can't run the ball.
They can't run the ball, and really all they have is Jam Miller, who's been facing injury, and then Hill, who's also made some big plays and some big moments, but they don't have a consistent run game, and I don't see that changing between the Oklahoma game and this one. But I think that looking ahead to next year, you're going to have Jackson's E.J. Crowell, which I think is going to – I know a lot of people have been talking about that because of the lack of production in Alabama's run game is, man, we're ready to have E.J. Crowell up here, which I think will be a big difference maker in that run game for Alabama.
Yeah, no doubt. And he I think we all agree, at least people who kind of follow it and cover it, I think there's a really good chance that EJ is playing next year. Significant
100%.
stats for Alabama.
I mean, we saw it with Ryan last year. Like,
right.
the kid came in and was playing at 17 years old. I mean, talent is talent.
Yeah.
And when you need an immediate difference maker like that, especially someone, I think EJ could be somebody that can come in and have a breakout freshman season just like Ryan did.
Yeah.
And Alabama's going to need that, but they don't have that in the Rose Bowl tomorrow night. So they're going to be leaning on much more in that passing game than they are the run game.
Yeah,
for sure.
it seems like this is going to be a big time quarterback matchup, and it's going to be interesting to see if Ty Simpson's up to it. We did a thing last week, and I think you've talked about some of this week of kind of how similar some of the numbers are between Simpson and Mendoza. So, yeah, it's really going to come down to that quarterback play, I think. And Indiana right now is a 7-point favorite, which is probably about right, I guess.
I would say so. I feel good about, like, originally, I'm an SEC homer. Like, I'm going to pull for an SEC team, and I'm always like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, you might be the number one team and you're favored by 7 points, but, like, who have you really played? But then you look at it, I mean, they beat Oregon, they beat Ohio State. Like, Indiana actually has some really good wins under their belt. So, like,
they're number one for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Kalen DeBoer said the same thing. And so has Kane Womack, and so has Ryan Grubb. Like, they all know the test that they're going up against. They're not taking it lightly. You can't just ride on the fact that you're an SEC team and that you're Alabama. You can't ride on that in this one.
Right, and it's not a situation of, because in the past when Alabama would have these kind of matchups, if they weren't necessarily the top ranked team or possibly even the favorite in some of these games, you always knew that their experience in these big games would kind of win out against some of these new-coming teams like in Indiana. You don't really have that with this Alabama team. I mean, Kalen DeBoer's made it to the championship game before with Washington, but as far as like this group of Alabama guys goes, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year. So you're kind of in a situation where, this is a pretty inexperienced group when it comes to the postseason as well, as Indiana. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup. I can't believe we've got a playoff game between Alabama football and Indiana football, but, here we are, and it's, I think it's going to be a good game.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be one that's going to come down to turnovers.
Right.
I think turnovers is going to be the big thing. Indiana is very disciplined. They do not turn the ball over, but Alabama's defense is a defense that really forces turnovers. And we've seen that throughout the season with them. So, and that's something Kane Womack said. This one is going to come down to turnovers. So really looking forward to this game. It kicks off tomorrow at 3 p.m. in Pasadena. I am going to be watching, but I'm going to be watching from New Orleans because I'm going to the Sugar Bowl, where Ole Miss is going to be taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. And I won't get too much into this one. Just know that I'm going to be screaming hotty toddy and roll tide at the same time, because it would be cool to see Alabama after the season they've had get a win, but it would be even cooler to see Ole Miss get a win over the Georgia Bulldogs. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week when we kind of made our early picks or whatnot. But I like y'all in this game. I mean, the spread's gone down a little bit. I think it opened at 6.5, and y'all are down to 6 now. Hey, listen, like we've been saying all the last 2 weeks, it's hard to beat a good team twice. So
You're right. And also, if you look at the history of like how the college football playoff has gone, like all the teams that originally, I mean, if you look at the Oklahoma-Alabama game, Oklahoma beat Alabama during the regular season, and then Alabama came back and beat them here in the playoffs. And if there's anything we know, like the regular season doesn't even matter at this point. It's you're survive and advance. That's the point we're at now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything could happen. Definitely looking forward to this matchup. I know that Trinidad Chambliss has been trying to get, like, an extra year of eligibility He's trying to get like
boy.
a red shirt from when he was at his D2 school, like some form of medical red shirt, something. If Diego Pavia can play for as long as he's played, let my boy Trinidad play.
Listen, give it to him. We got college basketball teams signing former NBA draft picks, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever. Just
It's a free-for-all.
It's
a free-for-all. Just let it rip.
Yeah.
Let's just have fun with it. I'm just leaning into the chaos of all of it. But, yeah, another thing is the transfer portal opens tomorrow. Or on Friday, actually. Yeah, the transfer portal opens on Friday, which... it's crazy to me that you have the portal opening in the middle of, like, the playoffs.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, I would definitely have to agree. I'm pretty sure there's only one portal window now, and I just feel like they put it at the most awkward point. I mean, teams are still trying to build coaching staffs and things like that because we had so much head coaching turnover this year. I mean, it's an unprecedented amount of, like, head coach, openings and people getting fired and people going here, people going there. I mean, it's been madness. And I can't remember another football season where it's ever been like that.
Yeah.
So speaking of the transfer portal, keeping things in college football, it's looking a little crazy over there at Auburn when it comes to their quarterback room and their wide receiver core. We saw that, right now everything's alleged because the portal's not officially open, but it looks like freshman quarterback Deuce Knight, the George County High School graduate out of Lucedale, Mississippi, is going to be hitting the portal. And then you've also got Cam Coleman, who went to Central Phoenix City, 5-star, absolute stud. We've seen him play at the high school level. And he's going to be graded as the number one available wide receiver in the portal. And
I think he may be the number one player in the portal.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. Definitely receiver. So, number one player. Can see that too. Auburn, that's tough. But, I mean, you see it because the new coaching staff, Hugh Freeze is out, Alex Golish,
yeah.
I've got to get that last name correct because I'm going to be saying it a lot, I'm sure. That's going to be interesting to see kind of where they end up. But I think that's another thing that we know when it comes to transfer portal at the college level is these guys can enter and then go right back to where they were. This is a tactic for negotiations for more money.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And these are two younger guys that Auburn, signed. They were part of that young freshman class that they expected to, build upon in the future. Like two really talented guys. I don't know if you remember, but Deuce Knight I think it's cool. He's a Mississippi guy, but he transferred up to a school in Tennessee, I believe, and played for head coach Kevin Mawai. I mean, he's an NFL Hall of Famer. And they ended up getting in trouble for some transfer stuff.
Yep.
So he came back to George County High School, spent his senior season there, and then committed to Auburn and stuck with Auburn. And we did get to see him play a little bit this season and did really well. I mean, Deuce threw a TD pass to Cam Coleman.
Yeah.
So these guys, look like they've started early building some chemistry. So to see both of them go would just be a really hard hit for Auburn. But this is only the beginning. We're going to see more and more guys entering the portal and trying to get more money, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Where can they get more money? I've heard rumors that Cam Coleman, some schools have been offering as much as $4 million.
Oh, wow.
That is insane.
Yeah, I saw 2 somewhere.
I saw 4 somewhere today.
That may have been what Auburn was possibly offering was 2 and maybe
I heard that.
schools.
I think that Auburn's like, we want to keep you. We'll give you 4.
Yeah.
And it really is a negotiation tactic. It really is. At some point, these kids are going to end up needing agents.
Yeah.
But there's only so much Jimmy Sexton to go around.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Although he seems to be everywhere.
yeah, he's got his minions.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that commercial? There's a local attorney down here that does the commercial and his body all like, it splits. And it's like a million of them running around in the commercial.
Yeah, probably.
Just like SpongeBob, like when his brain's burning down, and
Yes.
there's a million SpongeBobs running around as the cabinets are in flames. Like you just multiply yourself. You
That's
just got to
right.
find really smart people to work for you and do the job as good as you can, if not better, so that you can't be 10 places at once. But really, maybe you can.
Hey, you never know. We were talking off mic about what that school was. It was Lipscomb Academy.
It is Lipscomb
They were
Academy.
the
the
ones
Mustangs.
yes, they played Saraland.
Yeah,
one
they did play
season.
Saraland. So yeah, everything's all connected in some weird way or another.
What do you think about the rumor that the kind of two of the leaders right now, possibly for Cam Coleman, are Alabama and Ohio State? Alabama would be crazy because then you would have him, Ryan Williams, and then depending on, if Sedarian Morgan, the Benjamin Russell kid, Benjamin Russell kid can play next year, 5-star, one of the best players in his class. It's going to be a pretty good receiving core if they're able to land Cam Coleman.
Yeah, that would be just insane. I mean, it basically Alabama would pick up right where they're leaving off with their production in the wide receiving room. Like you're replacing, you're constantly replenishing. Like next guy up.
Yeah, and you'd be kind of owning the state a little bit. If you had all that
100%.
in-state talent, especially with E.J. Crowell coming also. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder how much Alabama would be willing to fork up to get him. That's interesting. But at the end of the day, for me, if I'm Cam Coleman, and don't get me wrong, like money like that, $4 million, that's life-changing. Yeah. And especially when a lot of these kids are, helping their family financially as well. I mean, they're the guy that's making the money, It's a job. This is a business. You get up and you go to work every day and you're bringing home a paycheck.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to move on and play in the NFL and you're not getting to showcase a ton of your talent because you haven't had a good quarterback or a good, I don't want to say Hugh Freeze is a bad coach. I don't think he's necessarily a great one. But, I mean, it's just like when you're not being put in situations to showcase your talent and improve and get better, how does that help you if you want to go play in the NFL and have a good career in the NFL? You need to be somewhere where you're constantly getting touches, getting the opportunity to make catches, boost your stats. You need the opportunity to do that. And if you don't have a quarterback that can throw to you, which, I mean, I guess if Deuce Knight was still there and Deuce is throwing to Cam, I mean, but also I think that Alex Goulash?
Goulash? I don't know.
It's not goulash. He's going to be bringing his quarterback from USF.
Right.
He's going to be transferring in. So, I mean, I think that we'll see some better quarterback play out of Auburn next season, but nothing's guaranteed. And you can go into Alabama, and Alabama's going to have, they're going to be set up those receivers just right to have somebody, helping them get that production and showcase their talent. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what exactly they do if they do move on and transfer somewhere else, or if they decide to stay at Auburn.
Well, and speaking of local guys, I'm just kind of curious if you've seen anything more, but it was announced back on December 5th that Perry Thompson was going to enter the portal. Did he end up?
I heard that. I'm not for sure. It hasn't been confirmed. I do have a source at Auburn, and I'm not going to say names, but they did tell me they do think that he will be transferring.
Yeah, I mean, he retweeted the post back on December 5th that said, he plans on entering the portal, but I haven't seen any rumors or anything about where he may end up. But,
I've heard that he's probably going to be transferring. Yeah. I know he's not happy with the amount of touches that he's gotten, and rightfully so. Like I said, you want to have the best opportunity to play, because if you're not playing in big game situations, you're not getting better. Like, practice can only do so much for you. You need to be playing in big time games and getting big time opportunities. And if you're not getting that, what are you doing?
I could open the door for Bryce Kane, another little
very
local
well
guy.
Could.
Yeah.
We got a lot of local guys that go play at Auburn and Alabama.
For
so
sure.
like and tend to be really successful. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the portal doesn't even open until Friday, and things are already starting to get crazy.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely know a lot more about the movement of some of our local guys, once the kind of new year flips over. So it'll be interesting. Did you do you want to talk about the Senior Bowl a little bit?
Before we get, we can go. Let's go ahead and talk Senior Bowl. So I know that they've been sending out a lot of their invites, and it's really starting to ramp up. I know a lot of guys, you really can't accept. I guess you can't accept the invite until your team's. Well, I guess that's not the case for everybody, but we see it with some of them, especially with quarterbacks. They don't accept the invite until they see how the kind of the college football playoff is going to go.
Yeah, no, there's
But Alabama's got quite a few in there.
Alabama does. Oregon's got a few. Texas A&M, although I guess they got beat. It seems like some of the playoff team guys have accepted some invites.
I think Deontay Lawson's going to be
He
playing
sure
in it.
is, yeah.
Mobile Christian grad.
Yep.
Has just really been an anchor for that Crimson Tide defense. Kane Womack has nothing but good things to say
Yep.
about him. He's a captain on the team. I could see him. I mean, this is a great opportunity for him to come down here, get the interviews, get to talk with these scouts and coaches and stuff. I think he's going to have a great NFL career, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Extremely talented. Extremely talented. I'm trying to see what other. There's LT Overton is another one.
Yep.
I know he's just coming back from injury. He's been out, and that is someone Alabama really needed to come back, especially here ahead of the Rose Bowl. But he's officially accepted. They just announced that about 5 days ago. I'm trying to see what other Alabama players we have, because there are quite a few. I want to say Jeremy Bernard. Oh, Josh Cuevas, the tight end with Alabama, he accepted. I know he's another guy that's been injured and hasn't got to play the last couple games. So it'll be interesting to see him compete in the Senior Bowl. Another one that I want to mention, and this isn't Alabama, but it's Illinois' quarterback, Luke Altmaier.
Okay.
He used to play at Ole Miss.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why I want to mention it. He transferred from Ole Miss to Illinois and just did really, really well playing for the Fighting Illini.
There you go.
So I'm excited for him to come down to Mobile and get the opportunity to showcase his talents. That's going to be fun. A lot of these people that come down here and experience the Senior Bowl have never been to the state of Alabama, so it's always cool when they come down here, and I know it's a culture shock, and then you've also got, like, it's like the kickoff of the Mardi Gras season, because the game's on January 31st, I believe, Saturday, January 31st. I'm almost positive.
Yes.
There's some Indiana players that have accepted, which is interesting.
Diego Pavia will be here.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm really excited about. I wonder if his mom will be here, and every time he does something, they'll don't make that face. Every time he does something good during the game, I wonder if they'll pan over to his mom like they always did for Vandy games.
Yeah.
Did Vandy lose today?
They were down. Did they end up losing that game to Iowa?
I'm not sure. Did I say Jeremy Bernard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah, he accepted. He's going to be down here for the Senior Bowl.
They did. They beat them 34-27.
Wait, Vanderbilt lost or they won?
Vanderbilt lost.
Iowa beat them.
34-27.
That's crazy. That is crazy. We've also got Justin Jefferson, officially accepted, a linebacker from Alabama. He's going to be heading down here for the Senior Bowl. There's a lot of Alabama players this year.
Yeah, there really are. A lot of SEC
Jam
guys.
Miller, the running back, Alabama's running back, he's going to be down here. I think he out of all of the guys on the Alabama football team, I think that he really needs that, especially because he's been out due to injury. So a chance to bounce back and do that. We've also got Tim Keenan III. That's a defensive lineman.
Yep.
This guy is talented. He is fun to watch. He's always making big plays. He's pancaking guy. He's all over the field. Like he's fun to watch. And I love him, like the way he celebrates after he makes a big play. Like the energy out of him is ridiculous. So it'll be cool to have that energy down here in Mobile.
Is Ole Miss gonna have anyone? Y'all don't have anyone in here yet.
I could see them starting to accept invites after. We've already had so many distractions.
That's true.
Let's maybe just keep.
True.
I think they can't afford to not stay locked in for this game, going head to head with Georgia. I mean, it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be easy. Did you see that Colin Lacey accepted his invite? The wide receiver at Louisville. He's from down here. Like he played down here, or he played at South Alabama. Maybe he transferred from South Alabama to Louisville.
I saw where he had accepted it. I didn't know he was from.
Did he go to McGill?
Oh, Faith.
Oh, he went to Faith Academy.
Yep.
That's right. He did go to Faith Academy.
Yeah, that's the problem with some of this. Some of these guys were a little bit before we started covering it, so I'm not even totally sure.
He went to Faith, and then he went to South Alabama, and then transferred from South Alabama to Louisville. So I remember him from his time at South Alabama, not from his time at Faith. So that'll be interesting. I'm trying to see if there's any other names in here I can find. Any more Alabama guys? That'll be another thing to keep an eye on, is like local guys coming down here to play, because like we stay so focused on Alabama and Auburn, sometimes we kind of forget like the local kids that come in, because we had kids last year that or the year before that played at like Missouri and places like that, and they come down here and play in the Senior Bowl. So I think that's really cool. I mean, Riley Leonard played at Duke and Notre Dame, like came back here and played in the Senior Bowl. So I'm excited. Oh, here's an Auburn guy. Jeremiah Wright, offensive lineman from Auburn. I think there might be a good bit of Auburn guys in here this year, too.
They've only got 2 accepted so far.
I could see that changing. We typically get between like 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Who, like, quarterback wise, who would you like? Who hasn't accepted? Who would you be most interested to kind of see?
What QBs have already accepted?
We got Diego Pavia
Cole Payton from North Dakota State, Luke Altmaier
from Illinois,
Sawyer Robertson from Baylor, and Taylon Green from Arkansas. Yeah,
I'm excited to see Taylon Green. He's very talented.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, what quarterbacks are left in this college football playoff that would come and do it? I mean, could you see a Carson Beck and Fernando Mendoza in this game?
I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to see Ty Simpson.
Yeah, Ty Simpson. What's his name over at Georgia?
Why am I blanking? Why do I need to Google this right now? Me and Randy Marrow were just talking about Georgia football, and it's the one that the fans love him. They wanted him to be the quarterback, back when
Gunner Stockton.
Gunner Stockton,
Yeah.
exactly. Nate would be so disappointed in us.
I know, he really would.
I was blanking. I knew his name started with a G. It'll be easy to remember now, though, because we have Gunner Rivers over at St. Michael.
Right.
So Gunner Rivers, Gunner Stockton, two very talented quarterbacks.
So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on the Senior Bowl and keep updating any news that comes in with it, especially when it comes to either local guys or Alabama and Auburn guys.
Let's wrap things up.
Yep.
Speaking of talented quarterbacks,
Yes.
Fairhope's very own Riley Leonard is going to be starting for the Colts on Sunday.
Yep.
Phillip Rivers' historic return to the NFL, coming out of retirement, has come to an end. The Colts are eliminated from the playoffs whenever the Texans beat the Chargers on last week. That was pretty much the nail in the coffin. So, our good old boy Riley going to be getting the start. Super happy for him. The Colts, it's been a snake bite of a season for him.
Yeah, it really has. And I don't know, I don't know what you had going on Sunday. Were you able to watch any of the kind of Colts-Jags game?
A little bit. Not a ton. But I know that, to me, Phillip has done the very best that he could.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that defense, the Colts defense is just
turtle
tank water, y'all.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Horrible.
It's really bad.
Horrible.
The broadcast kept hammering home the phrase upset when they were talking about the Colts beating the Jags. And I was like, an upset to me in the NFL is like if a 2-win team beats the number 1 team in one of the conferences. I don't think a 8-7 Colts team beating an 11-4 Jags team is like Colts trying to pull off the upset. The upset. They kept saying upset.
The upset was the Cleveland Browns beating the Steelers.
Right.
That was the upset.
Yeah.
That was the one that you're like a 3-win team beating, a playoff contender.
Yeah.
This is not that.
No. So it just, I don't know, it was cracking me up. I couldn't tell why they were doing it or what kind of point they were trying to prove. But
well, I mean, they needed, at that point, the Chargers had already lost and kind of not, that was like the nail in the coffin for them. But yeah, maybe that but even then you already know you're out of the playoffs. There's no chance you can't upset. It's not like it's gonna keep. Maybe did the Jags need to win to go to the playoffs? Maybe.
I don't think so. I mean,
I don't know. I'd have to look at the breakdown, but I just think it's crazy that a Colts team that started 8-2 literally lost the next 6 straight.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty much. Or I think they went 1-6. It was just. That was crazy. Phillip Rivers did everything he could. The season is pretty much, it's over. The season is over. You got one more game. So Riley's going to be getting the start against the Texans. We've talked about it before. That Texans defense is going to be a tough task. But I don't know. It's just I'm happy to see Riley. Hopefully he's really soaked up some knowledge from Phillip Rivers throughout the last few weeks, and this will be an opportunity. This is his first start. I mean, he's gone in and played and taken over, at different times, but this is going to be his first start. So
yeah, it's it's a perfect opportunity to see what you have in Riley if you're the Colts, and what a cool opportunity Riley's had to not just be able to learn from a legend like Phillip Rivers, but to also, Phillip Rivers is probably walking around practice wearing a St. Michael hat. I mean,
Yeah.
they're from the same area at this
Yeah.
point, and the whole St. Michael team got to go see that game, which was really
Majority
cool.
of them, yeah, they sure did. They flew out there, and the coaching staff also flew out there
Right.
and got to sit in a box, and just a really cool opportunity
Yeah.
all the way around. This is one of those experiences they will never, never, never forget. So
is Rivers now back in Fairhope, or is he going to be with the team?
that's a good question. I was wondering the same thing. I was wondering if he was going to stay and maybe continue working with Riley.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many tweets, people saying that, well, Rivers needs to stay and he needs to play next year, blah, 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 blah. And I heard, post game, a press conference with Rivers saying, like, no, I'm done. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not coming out of retirement
Yeah.
again. Like, this was a once in a blue moon type, once in a lifetime
Right.
thing. Because he's got a high school football team to come back down here and
Yeah.
coach. And
A very good one,
a
too.
very good one. I know they're going to have a lot of turnover during the off season, but I think they'll be just fine. They're going to
Yeah.
be right back in it. And the high school transfer portal is just beginning for them. So,
Hey, listen.
especially, what I've been thinking about? I didn't mean to cut you off, but like with St. Michael getting all this publicity. About
This is what I was about to say.
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
literally, they got all this publicity. Like, who would not want to come down here and play for a NFL quarterback who literally just got done
who was just taking snaps in the NFL
at 44 years old?
Yeah.
And
No,
he had the number one team in the state of Alabama in 4A for a time, and went head to head with some of the best of them, because Jackson is like, this Jackson team was the best.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason they won the
and
state title.
Gunner is going to be possibly the best quarterback in the state. So if you're any kind of a receiver, running
Mm-hmm.
back, offensive lineman, like, of course that looks like a really good situation. I can go put up some really big numbers with that coach and that quarterback.
You also know that, like, there's going to be college recruits and coaches coming down to watch Gunner play. That's
yeah.
that's also an opportunity for you to gain exposure
Yep.
and get eyes on you. Like, who would not want that?
100%.
Everybody's going to – I don't even know if St. Michael is like a school you have to, like, apply to get into or how that works, but I can imagine
They're Catholic, aren't they?
Yeah, St. Michael Catholic High
Yeah,
School.
so I wonder, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I don't know why it would, but
You got to be Catholic to go?
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think
know.
you do. I don't
Probably
know how that
not.
works.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. But I can imagine if it's a school that you have to, like, apply to get into. I need to ask Randy Lowe, because his kids go there. They play soccer. And
Schools like that have worked around that for years.
But could
Like,
you imagine if just like a slew of kids, all their families, they all moved down here to Fairhope, Alabama,
Yeah.
and enroll their kids at St. Michael Catholic High School, so all their kids can come play football for Phillip Rivers? They might as well call it Phillip Rivers Academy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the coolest thing. I just want to mention one final thing before we close out here. But for Phillip to go and have this experience and everything, that's all great. But, like, Coach Rivers is also just a really, really good guy. Like, when people come up to him and ask for pictures or signatures or anything, it doesn't matter what it is. I've never seen him say no to anyone. He's extremely grateful for the people that support him. He's extremely grateful to have this opportunity and the St. Michael Catholic, football team and the support that they've given him and whatnot. And, yeah, I just think it's really cool to see somebody who's like a genuinely good person. Not just that he's from down here, like, that's awesome, but a genuinely good person
Yeah.
get his flowers in a way. Because if there was any question before if he was going to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, I don't think there can be a question now. I just don't think there
No.
can. I really don't. Like, I think
He was going in either way.
I think so, but if there was any doubt, there isn't anymore.
Right.
There shouldn't be. So, yeah, it's just been a heck of a journey for us to experience here
Yeah.
over the last few weeks. I'm sad that it had to end prematurely. It could have gone a million different ways. That would have been even, greater content for us to talk about and get to see. But you know what? You and I will both be grateful for this little sliver
No
of
doubt.
time that we got
Yeah.
with that. So, yeah. And also good luck to Riley.
Yep.
I'm sure they're going to have like a watch party at Fairhope Brewing Company. I mean, something.
That would be cool,
They're
yeah.
going to have something. They always get together and do watch parties. And, just what are the odds that we ended up with two guys from Alabama,
I know.
from the exact same area, basically, both quarterbacks for the Colts in the NFL?
A lot of new Colts fans around here.
100%. You got your blue on already. I
Yeah,
know it's
there you
Kentucky, but, like,
Yeah.
I might have to go get me some
Yeah.
Colts
Go get
gear.
you some Colts gear.
Oh, but anyway, well, anything else before we want to wrap this up?
I don't think so. New Year's Eve. I think we both got a bunch of stuff we got to go do. So
Yep, we do.
Yeah, I think that probably does it for this week.
Yep. Well, y'all stay safe. Happy New Year. We will see you guys in 2026. I'm Emily Cochran. He's Robert Ristaneo. This is the Big Friday Kickoff podcast, and we will see y'all next week.